where I'll move in.
Where do you live?
I live in Marin. I live in San Rafael. It's like kind of close to Terra Linda High School.
And you've been in here before, right?
Yeah, my friend took me here, and like Bettina. Yeah, she was in my ASL sign language class, and so like my friends and I went over to her to her branch several times, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, so like the reason I'm doing this interview is I'm not sure if you went to the website, but there's a program called Road Trip Nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like a bunch of college students, I think like 3 or so college students per Green RV, and they go around the U.S. and they just interview really inspiring people, or really inspirational people. I think last season they went down to New Zealand. They went over to New Zealand, and they interview people from all walks of life. Like they interviewed like graffiti artists. They interviewed like I think the guy that invented bungee jumping or something, and they interviewed like artists, musicians, people that have started their own companies and stuff. And it's just so that like I feel like people that have come that way like have a lot to offer, to the next generation. Have a lot to say.
Have you ever seen a movie called The Journey?
The Journey, yeah.
It's interesting because a friend of mine made the movie. It's called The Journey, and it came out about 10 years ago. It won some film festivals, and it's exactly that. It's based on a Chinese proverb that says, if you want to know something, ask the people coming back. Basically,
right.
If you're headed down a road and you want to find out how to get there, ask the people returning.
Yeah.
And it's all he basically just himself. He just put this movie together, and he'd be a great. He bought a RV, one of those old like hippie vans, VW vans.
Right.
And took that across the country, and it was this one like payphones, no cell phones, and he like would call CEO. He calls the CEO of like Coca-Cola or the president, the vice president.
Yeah.
He tries to Bill Gates, all these different people, and just calls them up and tells them that he's documenting his journey to really share with the young people of the world how to be successful from those people that have really been successful and followed their dreams and done great things with their lives to guide the younger generation.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like just amazing. Like what some people have to offer and what some people have to say. But on that note, like I was wondering, like for me, the reason that I'm doing this is that I feel really lost. Not like hopelessly lost, but just sort of like I don't know what to do, or I don't know what my passion is. And a little bit about me, after high school, I went all the way up to Canada, and it was good, but I feel like the reasons I went were wrong. It was almost it's kind of weird. I felt like in order to find myself, like I had to be away from my old self, so it's almost like I was getting away from something.
I just wanted to check in. Did you want maca or cacao powder?
Oh, I have maca.
Maca? Great.
Yeah. Thank you. So it was almost like to get away from myself, and so I went, and it was like I felt like that didn't work, and so I kept on trying to like put myself out there into like just it was almost self-destructive. It was like I kept on putting myself in these situations that were incredibly difficult. Like I started running a business up there, a painting business, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And the main reason I did that was I felt like if I can get through this, if I can like learn myself and like and how I operate under this sort of stress, then I'm set. Then I know what I want to do. But I feel like it would have helped if I had like more direction or like someone to reach rather than something to run away from. Yeah. So now like last semester I took a class in like sort of career, like finding career, what you love to do, and I saw Road Trip Nation. And I was like, dude, this is for me. I want to do this. I'm gonna do this. Like,
I mean, even just that's exciting that you saw something and
Yeah.
you're taking the committed action towards, going for it, and it's something that was struck by joy and interest opposed to need to be successful or need to
yeah,
put yourself up against the hardest circumstances such that you can prove to yourself that you can do it or that you are enough.
yeah.
So cool. Is it a sequence of questions, or are we recording now or not?
Yeah,
yet?
no, I actually had to record when I came in. But yeah, no, yeah, it's already recording.
Oh, it is recorded.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Okay, so
But yeah, I was wondering, like, where were you, like, at like, were you ever at where I am at? You know, just sort of like didn't know what you wanted to do with your life, or how did you find what you love to do?
it's a great question. It's definitely, I'd say, something that I struggled with, and based on my experience, many people struggle with. Is really finding who you are.
Yeah.
You know, as human beings or as myself, I found a lot of my life I wanted to be, hello, my name is Rylan, I am this amazing artist, or I am this amazing photographer, I am this amazing writer, this is what I've done.
Yeah.
And wanting to have that sort of title and that resume that I could just pull out at any moment and share with people and feel good about myself anywhere I went.
You
Yeah.
are great.
And
Aww.
Wow. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
so I feel like that is something that and
Wow. Thanks.
cheers.
Cheers. This is amazing. Wow.
It is. It's really good.
Yeah.
So, what I'm clear about is that we're not alone in that conversation. That story, that stream of consciousness, that thought process of what am I passionate about, what do I want to do is very universal, and I know that a lot of people are somewhat plagued by that conversation and that feeling that they need to find that and need to have those answers answered.
Yeah.
So for myself, let's see, that most of all that conversation comes from some feeling of fundamental inadequacy, that I'm not enough as I am.
Right.
If I know what I'm doing with my life, I will be validated and feel okay about myself, feel good about myself. And that a lot of my life I sort of put myself on the scale of do you weigh out good enough, and sort of looking at myself on that scale with all the things that I was not, all the things that I didn't have,
Right.
and seeing how I weighed up or how I measured up, holding all these trophies of unfulfilled things. Whereas what I've started to discover is when we get to say how we see ourselves, we get to actively create that. And so starting to really see myself, because I had a learning disability where I read at about a 5th grade level, and I still can't spell to save my life, and math I'm sort of so I had all these academic things that I was very slow at coming through high school and learning that dyslexic and attention deficit disorder, and so I